Coach went 2-0 this past weekend. Two very big wins. Talk about what you saw from your team that they executed so well to get those big results.
I felt like our last game was the best defensive game that I've seen us play. And when I say that, as coaches, we always look at the small details in our rotations and stuff like that and how we're closing gaps. And I felt like we did an amazing job at that. We forced 34 turnovers, I believe, and that's a lot to say for those guys that were on the floor at the same time, communicating and making sure that we were all doing our defensive assignments at the same time. That's the key, is you got to find the five that can work together out there defensively and offensively. And so I was really proud of that, especially going into this next stretch of games. I feel like our confidence is getting better and better on the defensive end.
Last week you talked about focusing on not your opponents necessarily, but about your own team and about especially one area, rebounding.
Yeah, absolutely.
In both of last week's games, you out-rebounded your opponent by significant margins. So what exactly worked for you in practice? How did it translate to the court? And how would you like seeing out there?
Yeah, if you watch our team play, they do a really good job of blocking out. It's pursuing the ball after that and actually going for the rebound. We work on reading the ball off the rim and knowing where it's probably going to go. We've always got to have a backside rebounder. And so all those small details are something that we focus on every day in practice. And then the other part is you have got to come down with it with two hands, not just one. And you've seen in the past, we are really good at touching the ball. Like we get our hands on it. But we always say, if you can touch it, you can grab it. And so we're focused more on those type things as far as rebounds go. I do feel like we did a better job of that this past weekend. Obviously, these upcoming games, that's going to be a key factor. These guys can jump out of the gym. They are very strong and athletic and are known for the rebounding. And so it's just something that, it's going to carry on. And hopefully our girls are learning every day how important not only blocking out is, but you got to come down with the ball. You got to come away with it and don't tip it. You grab it.
And what allowed you to find your groove offensively? You put up 97, your season high, and then 82. So what worked for you on the offense?
It all comes down to just hitting shots. I feel like we've executed well and gotten the shots that we wanted in the past. Shot selection is something that we've gotten better and better at. It hasn't been great at times, but I feel like those young ones are learning more and more about what we want as far as that goes. And I felt like the ball moved well this past weekend. We hit the open players at the right time. Sometimes we have open players, but they're not at the right time. Our timing with our passes are off, and it just clicked this weekend, and I'm hoping that carries over to the next weekend. And the more and more that we play together, the more chemistry we have on the offensive end.
A 4-game road trip coming up for the next few weeks. What must be done to close these games and execute, because it's your final 4 road games of the season?
Right. Just taking one game at a time. And, it starts today. We have to start preparing for Eastern and making sure that, we know our game plan and execute it well. And that's been the whole story, I think, for the whole season is we've got to be able to carry over a game plan and actually execute it. And if you were to give our players a test on paper, they would have all the right answers. It just comes down to actually doing it on the court. And so that's the thing that we're looking that we have to do this weekend. Both teams have great coaches, obviously. They're going to execute. They are studying us right now. They know what worked against them the last time. Obviously, we're going to run that against them, and we're going to have counters to the things that worked, because I know that they're going to be ready for that. So,
thank you, Coach.
Thank you.